G'day guys, Sam here from TradetoProspa. For those who have joined online, thanks for joining. I'm going to go over a few charts and just to do a recap on Bitcoin, pretty much where we are, what's the risk, why is it bullish, and so on. And then we're also going to look at the likes of the SP 500. What does that mean? The Dixie, US Tether dominance, and Bitcoin dominance. I forgot about that one, so I'll put that in there as well. So we have a number of charts to look through, and they're pretty much going to be focused on Bitcoin, and then we're going to move on to a number of other coins, and these coins are pretty much along here. And if you have any requests for the short term, do so, and I'll make my comments on them. I can do a quick analysis of it, and anyway, let's begin. So SP 500. What's going on with the SP 500? I like one. So before I even continue, a lot of the stuff that I talk about is not just my opinion. I do have a number of people that I follow, and I get a whole bunch of information from a number of sources. Some of them are bearish, some are bullish, and what I do is interpret my perspective, and I give, what I try to do is give my perspective from what I see when I factor in the information that I also gathered. So it doesn't necessarily mean I have to agree with everyone, but I don't go just by my own thoughts without even using other people's opinion, because it will be stupid to do so, because other people have some merit as to looking at from a number of lenses. So just understand that this is just not my opinion. It's a accumulation of opinions, I suppose. So let's have a look at the SP 500. Many would agree that the SP 500, which is the big stock market, has correlation to high-risk assets like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. The Dow Jones is not really that much, but the NASDAQ is. So what I'll do is I'll also add the NASDAQ in there. So give me a sec. And the NASDAQ, here we go. Forgot to put that in there. And if things are right, the NASDAQ should reflect Bitcoin as well, because it's in the tech space. All right, so let's just go put that all the way through and start with the SP 500. Now, a lot of us, including me, had an opinion that SP 500 was to go down, and it's not doing so. And I think that because it took its time doing so, it's actually given. So we were expecting a capitulation of some sort in a strong way, and that didn't happen, obviously. And so this 200 weekly moving average has acted as support, and the way this RSI is angled, it looks bullish, including the MACD. So we have an opinion that this could still go up more so, and then maybe as this goes up, then we might get a pullback. I don't think it's just going to continue on to a bull run. When we know that there's a lot of things coming this year that will pretty much affect the economic situation. So here we have one that's saying Amazon's got a lot of layoffs, 10,000 roles. The likes of other companies like Goldman Sachs, 400 people getting retrenched. So when we look at that kind of stuff, and we've got the CPI as well, that's dropping, but the inflation rates aren't going to go away as well. So I think the cooling of the markets will take place. And the cooling of the markets should pretty much bring down the stock market as well, unless they go into quantitative easing, or the pivot, as they call it. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon yet, because the market is still relatively lagging behind. So come this year, I think sometime this year, we might find that we come around somewhere up here that we get a reversal. and then potentially come down. And that's when we're going to understand how that will impact Bitcoin. For now, we've got no confirmation. What we're looking for, this is the spot. So we can easily come down, and we're still in this little range to make up our mind. Meanwhile, cryptocurrencies kicked off. So that's what I have at the moment with SP 500. Moving on to the Dixie. Where is that? Give me a sec. I thought I had it somewhere here. Give me a sec. What I can do is get the chart from somewhere else that I just posted, and I'll bring that up. Not sure where that chart's gone. Let me just see if it's in the back. No, it's not in the back. So I'll bring this in with our Telegram group. So that's what we've got with the, this is the monthly chart with the Dixie, or the US dollar. And as you can see, in this big macro channel, we got this pullback, which has given Bitcoin and the other markets a chance to go into the investment field. So there's better returns. Now this is coming to a key level of support. So can we find some bullishness coming from there, bounce in the coming weeks? I think so. I don't think this is just going to go straight through. So this could be short-lived with this rally. So be careful in those terms. It would be nice to get that chart out. Let me have a look. Give me a sec. I'm getting old. I need the glasses. Okay. Let's just bring it up here. Small time frame. So I've got the channel, and let's look at the weekly. I just want to see what the RSI does. Is it finding bullish? No, there's no bullish divergence there yet. So it's coming down strong on the weekly, and we've got no indicators that are turning to the upside or even showing some. There's some over here. Maybe it's going to start, but nothing concrete yet. So that was a big drop, and that's, I think, this week is why the Bitcoin has gone up, and like the stock market. So it's lost its key level. So that's from the weekly perspective. All right. So that's given that candle, and I suppose, and Bitcoin has reflected it as well. Cool. Now moving on to the next chart. Bitcoin on the weekly, we have this macro trend line, and if I was to just do this, you'll see, where is it? There we go. We have this weekly support line, and I think this is what's caused it. So bullish divergence. So this is including the formation. You can see from this chart that we got our macro setup, Fibonacci, and it really hit the 0.5 Fibonacci if we would put the candlesticks in there, as you can see. And the 0.618 is where we found right now today with the 200 daily moving average on the EMA, we have resistance. So this is the key level that we're looking at from a Bitcoin perspective. And the 618 is confluent with the 200 moving average. So this is going to be very difficult to pass. And if we were to go to the candlesticks perfectly, it's really well aligned. So we've got the trend line that's really well aligned on the weekly. We've got this formation breakout. So the bullish divergence as well. So we've broken out this bullish divergence. And I've got this wave trend, which is like other indicators, and it's showing that it's breaking out. But the week hasn't been finished yet. So what does that mean? On the free day, you can see here, we're almost extended on the free day. And in the past, when we see the free day start curling backwards, then we potentially have a reversal. So now there's nowhere near yet. So the momentum's to the upside. Here we have the monthly. And if I was to reverse this, give me a sec. The monthly is pretty important as well. Let's just continue to move this chart to the big one. So when we look at the monthly and the RSI, we can see that here there were some key levels, right? So this is a key level that we find support. Let me just get the yellow out so you can see. So this level, and you can see how I've drawn it. In the past, this was a level of support. And you can see the monthly needs to break this, in my opinion, to become the start of the bull market. So it's confluent with a lot of things, isn't it? So if we look at this perspective, we've got this is the weekly, and this is the free daily. We have a number of things that are coming together to this pinnacle point, really. From a monthly perspective, it's at a critical point. Yep. So we have this play out like that, and it's a bullish formation. It needs a breaker. So this month, what do we got? We've got another 17 days, so it probably has a good chance. And I'll continue to go into what I think is what I'm looking for to go bullish, more so, and the confirmation that this is going to go bullish. So if you look at a number of results in the past, just from a candlestick perspective, the monthly, you see this capitulation candle, and then you see this bullish candle, the start of the bull market. Here you got the capitulation candle, and then you got this strong bullish candle. So you got 3 in a row, and that's what we got. So the candlesticks on the monthly tells us a story. We had this capitulation, oversold, and then we have that next candle on the monthly showing that it's bullish. Now we had, this one's a bit uglier. We had our capitulation candle there. Now this candle is looking bullish. That's why the monthly perspective is very important, because in the past, when we have a capitulation candle followed by a bullish candle, which is pretty much engulfing. So if we, in this case, the monthly levels there, we'll get the bullish candle return. Here, you can say once it engulfed that one, from a monthly perspective, it's the bullish bull market. The RSIs are pretty much telling you the same story. And when we look at this candle, it needs to, what I think it needs to do is close above this monthly level right there. At the moment, it's just above. So we've got 17 days to close above it. And if we close above it, that is a bullish candle, and that is going to trigger the bull run, in my opinion. If it closes below this 200, then it's not really done, is it? So let's look at closer. So that monthly level there, let's just do it exactly. Let me just do this from here. Give or take a bit, because we've got the other one as well. And that value, 20,000, pretty much spot on. Now this is the index, so it might vary from channel to exchange to exchange. A 20K round number, psychological number is it. And that pretty much gives you an idea that it makes sense, because the all-time previous high is there. And so that was our resistance for a big macro move, and that coming back up, we need to close above the previous resistance. And that's pretty much it. That will be big confirmation that this is the start of a bull run. But it doesn't mean it's just going to go straight up. And this is where people might have some weird expectations. I've said this in my previous videos. This is a 1, 2, 3 sigma move. That is our 1. This is likely to be our 2. And then we're going to look for our 3. In this case here, if we use this as a sample, 786, and if we were to turn the log off, it's our 618. Okay, so that I'll use a 618. Use the range. Give or take a bit. Let's just do that. Pick the top. Now, where is our 3 going to be? It's either going to be the 0.5. Yep. And I'll just put on the pricing. As you can see, 42K. It's probably going to go there, or the 0.382. Really depends on that. Maybe, like, who knows? So this could go bullish. It's really, the way it's responded is very bullish. So we are likely to go to either 0.382, that level, and that level. And what we'll use is we'll use our indicators for the formation to reversal. Not on the monthly indicator. We'll look on the weekly to tell us if one of these levels is going to be the reversal. And this is my expectations, by the way. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just using previous cycles to do it. So what happens then is we have our ABC correction. So here we had our A, B, and a C. That was a nasty one because of the COVID event. So in here we are expecting, wherever it is, we're expecting a come down from where it is, another correction. And so we might have, very similar to this, some sort of trend line, key trend line, and I'm expecting something like that here as well. Bit of rejection. That's my expectation. I don't expect it to go really high. Now, that will correlate with your expectations with the market, as I said, with this scenario where we go up and then we come back down. The question is how much we're going to go down. So when we look at that from that perspective, we'll have a run to the top and then we'll have this correction. So far so good. Now the question is, does this go lower? Many have been calling the low 10Ks and all the rest. Maybe it could go down to the 10K, but first we're going to go up to finish wave 3. Yeah, and then potentially, if we have a black swan event, that we like this one here, and the stock market dumps, then that could play out. So, but there's going to be profit at the moment. So, yep, I'm interested in going long, but I want to see this level break. So why do we want to see this level break? We're going to the next chart. Okay. So when we look at the next chart, this is the life of Bitcoin, and we're using the index. So what we have here is the 200 moving average on the week, on the daily. Sorry, let me have a look. That's the daily EMA, and I think we have the SMA. Yeah. So the black one is SMA. Right. So when we break above it, let's have a closer look. Each time we broke above what we've seen, it break above the 200, and we'll change the color here. It doesn't necessarily mean it goes up. So we have our 1, we have our 2, we have our 3, and A, B, and this one didn't go that low. Yep, just found support. So we had our ABC, and then up. So that's with the 200 moving average, but the shot is going above the 200 moving average. Similarly here, the shot was taken, it went above the 200 moving average. It compromised this as resistance. So once it breaks, it's likely to break again. And again, you see, if we to do this, that's our 1, that's our 2, and that's our 3. So we had our bounce, and then A, B, C type of thing, and up, right? And obviously this one's come a fair bit down, but again, it supports the theory. And then we have our bull run. Now, here's no different. So we break the 200 there. Here, it was enough. So we had our 1, we had our 2, 3. We broke the 200 moving average, and it just went. But you can see it did the 3 move there. So in these cases, the 3 wasn't that high. This was significantly high compared to the return. Now, the other aspect to this, all this, is when we look at the percentage of dropping, we can do that right now. Let's have a quick look. Price, when we dropped, that was in the 90%. This one was in the 80%. So most of them are in the 80%, I recall. So that's 83%. And so when we look at that perspective, like I said, we got our 1, our 2, and our 3, whatever it is. You will see that our drop from the top to this current level is 76. So it's less. And maybe it's still going to do the 80% with this ABC type of correction. We don't know. So it could play. We've got a number of models to use as a reference. So this one ranged sideways for a while. This one also ranged sideways for a while. This one just did a reversal and up it went. Question is this going to be a reversal and just continue to go? The way that this looks like, it's looking like very similar to this. So let's have a better close-up look. Just clean this up a bit. So when we look at this close up, you can see how we had the weekly just build up, and then bang. This was very different, and you can see this had a clear line. This was Adam and Eve formation, very clear reversal, and the boring accumulation, and then up. So that gave you plenty of notice, and you can see the RSI playing its role, and that was the pivot point. As soon as it gets to that pivot point, it breaks past the 200. So we passed the 200, I think, 21 moving average. And then when we break the 200, it kept going. And you can see the 3, this was the resistance level, right? So keep that in mind. Now we have, similarly, this is our clear resistance line there on the 618. And we haven't break the 200 moving average yet. However, the RSI is very bullish, very different to the others. The others were easier to read. This could always easily come back down, and that's my concern. What we have is previous RSI there, that level. It might just come and just turn around and come back down. So we can get rid of that now. That's not going to happen. Oops. So now we could still have this, or we just break through it. If we break through it, then I am pretty confident that it's going to go up to a certain level, like we talked about. And so that's what we're looking at the moment. So in theory, we have that model taking place. 200 is pretty much the signal. Okay, now let's move on. What we see short-term wise, very clear. Now this is my theory at the moment. If we were to go like this and look at this chart, the possibilities that we had a sell and climax, and we had this overlaying rising wedge. This is showing that there is indecision, and it's very bearish because the higher highs and the higher lows are overlapping each other. So that is clearly a rising wedge and a dump. This was an accumulation. So that's our selling climax. This is our either spring or test. And I think this could have kept on going potentially, but the FTT debacle might have interrupted all that. So if this was our accumulation all the way through, and we had another adamant ETH structure like that, very similar to this down here, it was making a similar formation, and it could probably continue on and then spend a bit more time here, but most likely keep going. So that didn't happen because of potentially the FTX debacle. Now, is that the reason why we came back up very strong? And that's what I'm looking at. So it might justify from the mindset that this was the natural cause. This was the FTX interruption. That was a cause. And also, there's another reason. Sometimes it's a fake out, and that's why it's taken. This was the whales maybe pushed it down there to get these people that were going long, pretty much wreck them. That could have been done as well. I think the FTX and the whales, who knows what they were up to, but this was a gold mine for them. And maybe FTX, planned it. The timing just seems to be very coincidental for their benefit. So that this is look like a fake out. When you look at it from the macro perspective, when we look at this channel, let's look at this on the 3-day. It does line up with this here, actually, this level here with this channel. So that bottom lines up perfectly there. So I was expecting maybe down here, like the previous, or even here. Just line it up. So it didn't come down. Now, if this doesn't pass, and it comes back down, then I'll be looking for these areas of accumulation. So we're still not out of it. And you can see this was all done, preset done, and I did this weeks and weeks ago, and it's good to do something like this because then it keeps you honest. Right now, we have this level very clear that needs to pass. Now, here is the thing. Doesn't this look like the left shoulder? This looks the head, and even if we come to there, it's going to be a nice buy, which is 19,000, and then break out. If we fail that, it's going to come down further, and then that's where I see it going away. So here is where you go bullish, guys. Until we break that, do not go 100% in. If we break that, so we're likely to pull back, and I want to see inverted head and shoulders. So right shoulder, head, and this could be a nice level of accumulation again, because this is a strong move, profit taking, and then breakout, and it's in line with this trend line. So we've got that reference point. We're on the log setting, so keeping us honest, it's likely to be a pivot. If we get there, it might just pull back, use this neckline. So if we break through it, I think it'll find that resistance. It'll pull back to this neckline, retest this neckline, and then up. So there's a few strategies in there as well. This is just going with strategy and observation. So that's what I got. If you've got any questions, shoot away. Otherwise, I'm going to continue on. And this is no different. We have on the weekly, we see when we do this, let me just go to the daily, get up closer. That trend line is in another perspective. And what we've done is I'll explain what's taken place. If you're familiar with alleyway theory, we've done our wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now in many cases, and this is why I think it could be the bottom, when we do our reference point to the 1, so let's just put that in there. So that's our 1. You can see how that's gone to the 1.618. Perfect, right? So that could be the reason. So wave 3 to 4, very typical way of measuring it. And I was wondering that, but I didn't like this setting. But damn it, I should have thought about it. And just going 100%, should have taken my chances, and I didn't. But that was the 1.618 from that perspective. That wave 3 to 4, put your Fibonacci in 1.618. It's done the selling climax, secondary test, and this is just gone. So this was a nice Wyckoff accumulation level. So I do believe that we are in a reversal. Yeah, and I do believe we're going to break this. It's just a matter of when. So we've got a bit of a pullback. It might pull back a bit more. We might retest this level of 19. Or is it 20? Yeah, 20,000. And this is on Bybit. So we might just come back. We might just get a bit of sideways move and then up. So keep an eye on it. But this is your opportunity to go in. If we break this level, guys, on the daily, it's going to likely come down deeper, and then we might retest this level. Okay, so this is the strategy, and so that this is a trend line, and so we might get a retest, and that is another known, it's called a bar strategy, and this line could be a retest as well, come back down to 18,000 and then back up. Because this is going to be potentially a strong resistance, this trend line. So you can see how the strategies work. Moving on. Let me have a quick look at YouTube to see if there's any comments or any questions there, because I'm not watching it. And give me a sec. Okay, here we go. And do we have any commentary? No one's talking, so let's continue on. So one of my interests, so here I got, these are the ones that are in the group that I've been showing my interests, and these coins and a bunch of others are the ones that I've been interested in and accumulating, and I recently bought more up as price was becoming more evident. So let's look at this for a sec. Optimism. Actually, so we done Bitcoin. Let me do optimism, and then we'll come back to Ethereum. This is a clear move. So this trend line is another strategy. So you can see how it's not the best formation, but there is what I think this is a wave 1 to 2. This doesn't look like wave 3 yet. Wave 3 could be up here. So the alts might just keep going and then further up. So what I want to see is, so this is a straight move. It's reminiscent, or it's a typical move from 2 to 3 until we find resistance, which this could be a well-known resistance level. We found it there. It's actually gone past what I think it is. So this is really a nice reversal formation. So if I was to clear this up, you can see how that takes place. Do I have tools to do this? Let me see if this works. If I enable that, it gives me the tools. So here's a pen. You can see that. So that we've got this measured move. That's a measured move that we can add here, and it's likely to be that top. So this is playing out. So I think we're still going to go there, and that's going to be, so what we have is that's 1, That's 2. This could be 3, 4, and then up to 5, wherever that is. Now, if it's a real bullish market, then this might not be 3. 3 could be moving up here. So it really depends on the market, and then we can look at this as a move. Yeah. So this could be the bigger move. I might just clear this all up and just get back to my tool set. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to show the potential move altogether for optimism drawings. Yep. So let's do this. If this is our triangle, very clear trend line, we break this trend line, that's where you go bearish. I love this. Now we've got a number of ways of looking at this. Optimism, I'm a fair bit into it. If this is a rising channel, that's one way of looking at it. It's not the best, but so I would like to see that in the middle, like that. But it's not doing it. It's not quite in the middle, so we might just add another line, because that might come into play. No, I didn't want to do that. Just wanted to get this. So you can see that has confluence. So this could find resistance here, right? So I'm expecting to keep going and find resistance there. If we looking for a measured move, I think that's our level, and you can see how it might just pop its head above it or not. If we use these wicks, that's what it is. But if we use the body of the candles, it's perfect for resistance. All right. So that's going to be about $2, which is a round number as well. So I see that as the main. Now, moving forward, we can use this as 1. And let's just, you might pick up some habits from here. Right? Do we have confluence with this 618? Yes, we do. We might be able to just do that. No, I'll leave it there, because the 1's there, and the 618 is the resistance. So it's a beautiful chart. I'm telling you, a lot of things are coming in perfectly with the Fibonacci 618, and so these are our targets potentially, and you can see if it makes sense. This is going to be it for the short term, and then we might come in. Now, if this could go parabolic, so now what did we say? We said this could be potentially 1, 2. This could be 3 and 4, and then our bull market just continues on. This could go parabolic. Ooh. So I like that idea. Just using this Fibonacci method. So that's one method of looking at it. I haven't done none of this before, so I'm just thinking out loud, just doing my charts, doing my TA, and here we go. So if we were to do this as well, the measured move, like I said, this is an inverted head and shoulder. No, it's not. It's a triangle more so. But it gives us enough that is the measured move, the small term. So that could play out. All right. So we might just get that in play. Let's just do this. Let's see how the channel works out. So if that's our target, does it have confluence with anything? Yes, it does. So imagine this as a Fibonacci chart. So we can do this as well. There's a number of ways of doing it. Interesting. Let's just make that thicker. And yeah, so it's not quite there. However, If we do that, there is some confluence there. That's more so. All right, I won't use that. Not happy with the results there. It does fit into it. At, like there's areas that there's confluence, so I might just leave it there. But that is a measured move. So I would say that this is our, where is it? Where is it? This is the middle. That's our initial target. A measured target is second here. Maybe even the 1.272, you can say. And if we were to go all the way down and all the way up, that could be our major target as well, if this goes. So let's have a look at this from a swing low, high, and back down again, 1.618. So we can, that is there. The 1.618 is there, and the measured move sort of relates to it. So you take away the wicks a bit, I think that works out fine. Yeah. So we've got a number of targets. So we might just go parabolic. And so if we were to go 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, or 3 and 4 could be up here, and use the top of this channel. And ultimately, I'm thinking $11 going up. Yeah. All right. So can you zoom and going to see it properly? All right. No worries. So what I can do is let's just get the browser a bit more bigger. And you can freeze the screen, I suppose, but you can take a screenshot. You know what? I'll do a screenshot. Do you guys a favor. I'll just put it into the comment section if it lets me. Yep, and you can have a look at that. So there's a few things there, and it's in the. You can get the copy or the screenshot in the comments. Okay. Hakazami. All right. G'day, man. By the way, I live in Melbourne, Australia. It's 12:30 a.m. So I don't want to do this too long, and we'll continue on. So optimism is one of my ones that I've been looking for a long time. If you want to enter this, this is, well, you can see this is a strong resistance level for whatever reason. Okay, we can do it from another way. We can do it from here to there, to there. Let's see, why is that the resistance there? So that's got confluence. Actually, let's just do this for a sec. Is there anything there? No, so we might look at the reference. We might use this reference here and use that reference there. Okay, it's a 2. All right. Now, hold on. And I'll put that back in there, sorry. It's gone to 1.618. Okay. So that's why it's just resistance. So what I've done is I use this reference because it's the relevant low to that, to there, and you can see the confluence with number of Fibonacci's, and so the 1.618 is our resistance along with that. So we might just get a pullback and a reversal of some sort, either a broadening wedge or something like that, inverted head and shoulders. Something's going to take place on a smaller time frame, and you probably find your entry point somewhere there to go in and continue on. As long as Bitcoin doesn't drop hard or that just get ranges sideways, we should be, I think the alts will kick in. Now, before I say that, let's have a look at, let's put the Bitcoin dominance. I haven't looked at it for a while. So let's have a look at that and see what the alts are going to be doing. Okay, so Bitcoin, as you can see, is run away today. Makes sense. We have do we have a channel of some sort? Hmm. Let's see if that. Every time there's a bull run, I might use the wicks. Let's see if that helps. Okay. So one user wicks, and you know what? It's just coming close to resistance. And let's see the Fibonacci on this. Okay, could keep going. It's a hard one, isn't it? So that is our main resistance, give or take a bit there. This does look like a reversal. It does seem like it's going to go up, guys. Bitcoin dominance seems to go up. Now, either that Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. Let's have a look at this. Why? Phoenix. It's either going to mean, so this hasn't quite broken the 50% level. And we are over close to over being extended. The reason I'm looking at this is if Bitcoin dominance is going to go up, it's going to do it for two reasons. Either Bitcoin's going to break strong again, or the alts are going to dump hard, and Bitcoin dominance goes up. It's a hard one, isn't it? Or the alt's going to, or Bitcoin drops hard, and the alts. No, so if Bitcoin drops, the alt's going to drop harder. That's basically in one way, or Bitcoin's going to go hard high, and alts aren't going to keep up. So in the past, if we were to add a chart here, give me a sec. We add our Bitcoin. Use that. If you look at this, in the past, let's get rid of this now. It's on the same chart, isn't it? Give me a sec. I want to show you something. In the bull run, move to new plane. All right. So what we saw, come on, it's not doing it there. All right. Let's just do regular. I'll do that regular as well. So I can change that. So what we're seeing here is in the early stages, I suppose all the way back if it goes. Come on. Doesn't quite do it, but anyway, here it does. Bitcoin dominance drops a bit, and when the bull run starts, Bitcoin dominance goes up, right? So we've seen that. So when bull run starts, Bitcoin dominance pretty much goes up. Similarly here, roughly there, and when Bitcoin goes up, runs away, dominance goes up as well. So if Bitcoin is going to go up, the dominance is likely to go up as well. So I think Bitcoin's going to outperform a fair bit of alts in this case. So that's what it's looking like, right? So that's what I'm thinking at the moment, dominance wise. And that's why this might just continue all the way up. I just want to see that. So which one's better to buy? Probably better off with Bitcoin or Ethereum, even Ethereum. So if we were to look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, I know Ethereum's dropped behind, that's for sure. I think Bitstamp might be a good one. So it's a we're looking at this today with a friend, And he asked that same question. I'm like, oh, it's a hard one. So it got a good rejection, didn't it? And so that's what's playing out. It's, to me, that looks like pressure to the downside. So buying Ethereum against Bitcoin is probably not a good idea at the moment. Downward pressure. Yeah. This is the daily. So we definitely got downward pressure. We want to, and this is all the way down here. So it's likely that Ethereum is going to not perform as good. So what do we have? We've got one, we've got two touches, three touches, and we've got two touches there. So that broke up, but now that's another touch. So there's more touches on the bottom than the top. So pressure is downwards. This concludes. If I was to go to 3-day, let's see what the indicator shows. Downward pressure. It's not really it's not really convincing yet. And I would be, if you've got Ethereum right at the moment, I wouldn't flip yet. But if it, you know what, if it goes below here, I would. So that's our 618. So if it drops below there, it's going to come down hard. And the first that could be the measured move, right? And that could come all the way down here, and that makes sense because bit of a trend line, isn't it? Then you probably flip. So I think Ethereum is going to lose against Bitcoin, and then if you play your cards right, it should go back up. This is a reaccumulation structure. So if you're familiar with the Wyckoff theory, this could be a big move coming down later. This could go off. So what we have is a macro trend, range sideways. It might be a reversal. I could get it wrong. So that's going to be a key level. But this could, and that's another level there. So we've got that structure. It's ugly. So buying climax, secondary test, or upthrust, secondary test. So it's not giving us a clear sign which one's going to be dominant at the moment. So from that perspective, have a think. I can't make a call because all I can do is highlight the key levels. All right. So Ethereum against Bitcoin is going to be difficult. Just with the key levels, you lose that, it's likely to come down more, and so on. I'm going to leave it at that. I won't go too much into it. Where's my Ethereum? Here we go. Actually, probably got another chart that's probably cleaner. All right. Give me a sec, because I want to see what's happening to my trades as well. Okay, I raised my stop losses for a few coins that are leveraged. All right, so this is Ethereum on the 5-minute, and you know what? It's not looking good. So this is a fail swing trade potentially. Strong rejection. You can see the 618 is acting as resistance. This might just go like that and down. So might make a short. So what is the plan here? Well, remember I said Bitcoin has found its resistance, but Ethereum has found its own resistance. So let's have a quick look at that. And let's go on to the daily first. Now, Ethereum's in bullishness is ahead of Bitcoin, right? However, just like that, it's not there. So it didn't quite reach what Bitcoin did. But from the 200 moving average perspective, if I was to just chuck that in, give me a sec. And we'll get rid of some of this. the 200 yeah, so here we go, 200 moving average on the daily. Let's just hide that for a sec. I've got a few of those. So I think it's going to use that as support. All right, so if we go into the small time frame, so what we have for Ethereum, swing high, it's found the 1.414 as a resistance. See this moving average there, the weekly 200 EMA, it might just act as support right there. So let's just put that line in there for our own good use. And what we have here is pretty much a macro accumulation. We have a number of, I suppose, daily or weekly levels. There's a few of them, right? This is where it's going to be clear resistance levels. Well, these are the obstacles that we have to get through. Geez, everything really lines up well, doesn't it? I didn't look at this for some time. So when we do that, and then we get our Fibonacci, all right, just let's do that bottom. Is it lined up perfectly? Yeah, lines up perfectly. And you can see 1.618. That's its resistance. So it's going to be in here for a while. I think this will be as a support. We've got the 200 moving average on the daily, and we've got the weekly. So this should hold it. And let's have a closer look. So let's go to 15-minute. And there we are. So it hit it right there on the 200. Excellent. Now, when we do this, let's just bring things out. Ethereum wise, it's a hard one, guys. The 618 is going to might be able to find a small leverage trade to the downside. This might go down further, but I wouldn't take that chance. The way it's done it, there's clear levels, and we might be here for a while, bugger. Yeah, and at the moment we've got a bit of the puzzle. Maybe it's going to be a descending wedge of some sort. Don't know. So if he breaks this, finds this as resistance of 618, whoops, get rid of that. Like figuring out a big puzzle. If this gets another second rejection, it's definitely going to drop, and it might come down here for support, or here, and then we might find a good entry for another leverage additional trade of some sort. Alternatively, if this goes up, then that's a bullish sign because it's broken this neckline on a small term, and this could be a bit of a broadening structure like that, and it's going to play itself out and then bang up. So keep an eye on it. You might get a few good entries in there to go long, but I think we're here for a while, and that makes sense because we had a big run, and you can see how everything just lines up with moving averages and Fibonacci. It's like really, really good. So is this a topping off structure? Is it a reversal and that we come back down? It's very, very, very possible, or it could be a continuation pattern. And so I can't really give much there at this point, except that we'll see how we go. But that is a clear rejection there, right? And we've seen why. Now, it wouldn't surprise me that we come down much more because we're still in the early days of accumulation, and this could pull back. So this could be a nice, see how that took place. Yeah, reversal structure. So we can have a reversal structure. It doesn't mean we're going to be bullish. And then maybe a retest on this 200 or this trend line, and then find some support on this 200 moving average maybe. We've got a few trend lines coming through. Perfect. And bang. So I'll be looking for to go along around the 1380. So yeah, maybe take some profit as well, but it depends where you entered. All right. So that's what I got there. And Aptos is one of my ones that we've been talking about. Had a nice structure, clear structure that you can trade with. And I'm thinking that's what it's on. It's going to do wave 3, wherever that wave 4 is, and then we're going to continue on. And obviously that's a level that of interest. I've got my Fibonacci in the golden ratio. Here is likely to be, like using the Fibonacci method, we have these targets here. Now this could be a nice V, and then, so that looks like a potential cup, and maybe even a handle. So we might get a descending wedge of some sort once it gets up, finds this as resistance, and then a bullish market as well. Or it just blast through and then continues on. Who knows? But I'll be looking for more highs in the coming days and so on. Matic's not doing as good as I thought it would do, and I won't go into too much detail. It's all over the place. There's no confluence. It's a big rejection. I don't know what that was due to, but that was a big dump. It was really bullish, and then just came back. So it's not the best pattern, and it's not that reliable. It used to be much more reliable in terms of price action. I won't go into that. Glimmer is what I'm looking at. That was a nice move. We've talked about that. It's a nice accumulation structure. I've done a video on it, guys. I'll probably won't cover this on YouTube. You can have a look on YouTube, and it's already done. So I won't do Glimmer. Dot. So Dot's done a few things, and if you look at it from this perspective, we have a clear trend line. Yep, all the way through, and we've broken through it. Right. In the small term, we've also played our strategies in there as well. So from this straw structure, this was the target right there, and it outperformed it, and it's hit our golden ratio, guys. So that's our reference. So this is a channel, and it's right in it. Like you couldn't make this up. So the trend line is doing the job of resistance perfectly, and it's aligned with the 618. So where is it right now? It's right there. So let's just get some of this a bit more clearer. Scale, symbols. Just get a thicker line. So you can see where it's dropped to. Yeah, it's pulled back a fair bit actually, doesn't it? So when you look at the volume, there's more volume of, but look, it's actually holding. So it's actually looking not bad. Dot. So it's in that range. I think it's just gonna. Well, it's pulled back up to a point where it's actually pulled back all the way there. It's a decent pullback by 10%. If it pulls back 20% or 30%, that's not going to be nice. All right, I didn't need that, so I can get rid of that. I'm using that tool for drawing, and so if you want to go long, Well, this is a clear resistance. You can see there, bit there. So even if we break above it, it's still going to be very nasty around here before we break out. So this could be a wave, wave, some wave of, I don't know what can it be. Doesn't look the best straight up. So I want to try to use the Elliott wave there. It's not clear, but as you can see, this is a strong resistance. Trying to find a good entry, we have to go to a small time frame. Let's go there. Let's just put on the auto. Add our 10 moving average and our MACD. So we'll see if there's going to be a good opportunity. No, that's not what I wanted. The hell? Lazy bear, how's that for you? Am I doing something wrong? Is that with divergence? Okay. So that's the MACD is pulling back. And if it crosses, it's going to be a bit more deeper pullback. We've got the 10 and 20 moving averages. Let's look at the 2 hour. Okay, the 2 hours probably represents better. It's not the best. It's not a good chart to find an entry. Not yet, anyway. So 3 hour is a 3 hour. That was okay. So I'll like to see a deeper pullback. To tell the truth, I'm looking for it to come down here. Let's see what it is. That's the only clear thing. So it's already done that. It's not the best setup for finding an entry, unfortunately. I just wanted to explore that. Looking for a cradle setup. It's messy. 4 hour chart was good and then went parabolic. So this is very strong and it might continue to go parabolic. I don't think it will pull back that much. FTM, guys, here's the big picture FTM. It was a demand zone from there. As you can see, it didn't quite make it to the 0.618. It's actually come across to our weekly levels there, and that's what it's done. It's gone to our weekly level there, and until we break that level, guys, why bother going long? I think it's not pulling back much. Again, it doesn't look like a good time to enter. It's difficult to find the entry at this point, but the 618 is where I think that's a target because of that. So we've broken that target, and the next target is there. So that is a measured move, guys. We're going to go up to about 54 cents. And yeah, so that's with the assumption that it breaks that level, and Bitcoin does as well. Not the best to go into. Others done a good move. Others broken that level, and I would say that it will use, and it's done already. 12 hour. Let's look on the 4 hour. It's used as retest. So it might retest, find that area of support. So that was a good retest. Let's see. You might be able to find another entry. If this comes down, I would definitely look to test it and then buy there and have a stop loss straight underneath. So it's in the range at the moment. By the bottom, it's already done it quickly, so who knows what it's going to do. But that would be a good entry point there if you want to get into it. AVAX pretty much did the same, perfectly on the trend line. Winding, so this is a widening structure. I'm not sure why I didn't quite touch it. That's a bullish structure, if I say so. I think this is going to continue up. Unless keep an eye on it. But yeah, I do feel like this is going to continue on. Got some other coins. I'm not going to continue on. We're of the time. If you've got any questions, let me know now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'm a bit tired. The last one is this one here. TrueBit. It's one of those ones that under the radar. Nice bullish divergence. If it breaks that level, I would say go long. This could move very quick. We've got a number of targets. 30 cents probably. If it breaks this level, it hasn't completed the reversal on the daily. Oh, it's the weekly, sorry. So go bullish if it breaks that level. Until then, we might come back down again. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. So TrueBit is that, and that's it, guys. I'm gonna look see if there's any comments. There's no comments, and I'm gonna wrap it up. So please give me a like and share. And here's the other grayscale Bitcoin. We also have very similar. In the past, I was looking at this grayscale. If you notice it, it's different. Like you can see, the previous bottom. I don't know how it works, but that's the. I don't know what this area is in terms of US dollar. Obviously, future contracts, but I don't know how that's represented. But you can see that it hit a level of interest. Previous bottom where we found support, and grayscale has found support there as well. So this is another good way of saying, yep, it's done a bottom. We've got the MACD crossing over on the. This is a 2-week chart, by the way. So what we have, if we do a 2-week, give me a sec. 2 weeks. Let's just go to a 2-week chart. I'll use this one, 2 weeks. I just want to see how many more days left. Oh, 1 day. 1 day left for the 2-week candle to close. So that's 1 day, and then MACD's crossed over, which is the blue sign. Because we had it down here as well. Back then, MACD, 2 weeks, crossover. So having a bigger time frame crossing over is a good indicator that we hit a good bottom. So this, guys, I think is a good one. Different way of looking at it. I actually thought it was going to go further down, and oh, come on. And when you, I thought there was a gap there. Just a sec. There is a gap there. So this might continue on. Let's see, what's that? Okay, so that's bullish. We've got a gap here and a gap there. So grayscale coin trusts might just fill these gaps up. So they're the targets. Fill that up. Maybe fill that before it comes back down. That's another way of looking at things. This didn't take place. I was hoping it dropped more, and maybe it will. Maybe we get a rejection, yeah, and then come back down and do this. So that's a grayscale perspective. And I'm done, guys. With the Nasdaq, it also has its 200 moving averages. So it could come back down, and Bitcoin, it's just aligned with Bitcoin at this point. It needs to break up, and then Nasdaq could find resistance there. I'm not sure if that's the Nasdaq. Ooh. Give me a sec. Where's my Nasdaq? Oh, it is the Nasdaq on Invesco. So SP 500, Dow Jones. Let's do the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is bullish. Might continue up. Looks like it's going. And that's it. Yes, hello and goodbye, because I'm pretty much wrapping it up. So we're done, guys. You can replay it from beginning to the end. And good night, because it's very late for me today. So please, thanks for joining. Come and join our Telegram group. Where's our Telegram channel? And that's it. You can join here by going to this bot. Go to this bot. You got, I think it's like 20 days free trial. You can come in for 20 days for free trial. So you just click on join type of thing, and you click on subscribe. And it's not there for me because I'm already a member, but there's a 20-day free access. So you can join our group. Talk to you soon. Good evening. Good night. Bye.